Hello, bright and shiny beacons of light. I'm Michael Sandler, your host on Inspire Nation. It is sunset behind me at Joshua Tree at our retreat center. Are we going to have fun tonight talking about ask and ye shall receive, or the real meaning behind ask and ye shall receive? For nearly everything we've been taught and told about prayer is wrong. So we're going to set the record straight tonight. We're going to talk about when we do it, how we do it, where we do it, even what we say, and why it's been all wrong. See, instead of prayer being the purest vibration of what we desire, instead of prayer being the purest vibration of what we desire, it's actually often the opposite. It's solemn, it's stodgy, it's fear-based, it's steeped in ritual, and it's reaping in guilt, not to mention lack. Now, ritual has its place, ceremony has its place, but when it comes to prayer, we want to get into the highest vibrational state of attunement. When it comes to prayer, we want to get into the highest vibrational state of attunement we possibly can. So I'm going to share a few stories tonight. Why do I share so many stories when I do this? Well, because when the elders told stories around the campfire, we got things a lot better than if they gave us a list and said, do this, do the other thing, do the other thing. And it's several other things. So earlier today, Jessica and I, my wife Jessica, also known as Pookie, also known as the Pook Star, we were down in Palm Springs. It's a fascinating place. We live just above Palm Springs. Palm Springs is where humans, millionaires, and billionaires. What does that mean? It is where everybody of every social strata, of every class, every color, every sexual orientation, everything all hang out together. And it feels great. And we had Ruru with us today. Actually, we were there yesterday, and then Jessica wanted to go back there today, and we did a hike called From Cactus to Clouds. I'm working on this one. Clouds got in my mind. From Cactus to Clouds. And we came back down, and we have Ruru the rooster. And if you've seen our other videos, yes, I do walk around with a rooster. It is a little bit eccentric. It was the universe's plans. I had nothing to do with it, except to say, I'm open, I'll go with it. And we were walking through town, and we walk into all of these stores carrying a rooster. What in the world does that have to do with prayer? Well, it has to do with attunement. It has to do with holding frequency and holding vibration. Now, the cool thing about walking into a store with a rooster is in Palm Springs, they think of you as an eccentric billionaire. And if you're walking around with a rooster, they do not want to kick you out because they figure you have money. Who else is going to be walking around in town with a rooster in their arms? It's the coolest thing. The more we walked around, the more abundant we felt. The more abundant we felt, the more people treated us as if we are, I don't even know how to describe it, riches beyond the wealth of avarice. It's just so incredibly wealthy. Well, that walking around in that state of wealth is a prayer. And we're going to be talking about that a lot more tonight. But remember that getting into a state is prayer itself. Now, we have a manifestation mastery class that we teach 4 Wednesdays a month. This past month, it has been on Napoleon Hill and Think and Grow Rich. And if anybody in the chat has attended that class this month, please let everybody know how it went. I'll let you guys do the talking of just how great that class was. Well, Think and Grow Rich is part of the equation. That is really some nuts and bolts of how you manifest wealth, how you manifest abundance, how you manifest your greatest life. Napoleon Hill and Neville Goddard. Neville would be kind of a compatriot of Napoleon Hill. They both agree that we don't understand prayer, and we certainly don't understand the power of prayer. But Neville Goddard, who wrote this amazing short book called Resurrection, which is all about how to use prayer, how to use frequency, how to use attunement at an even higher level. And when you read this book, and when you go with us through this class, this next month, this next 4 weeks is going to be on Neville Goddard and the resurrection. You can't help but shift your frequency until you come out of this feeling like you are the billionaire that you desire to be, or the millionaire you desire to be, or the homeowner you desire to be, or the entrepreneur you desire to be, or whatever it is. Neville's work is so incredibly powerful. Mark Victor Hansen, we've had on the show several times, dear friend. He is the Guinness World Record holder for selling nonfiction books. Along with Jack Canfield, they wrote Chicken Soup for the Soul. He has personally sold, Mark Victor Hansen, over 500 million books. His #1 book of all time to read, Neville Goddard's Resurrection. He says he reads it over and over and over again. Mitch Horowitz, another dear, dear friend, perhaps the leader in the New Thought movement, which is law of attraction, which is the secret, which is what we're talking about. His #1 all-time favorite spiritual author, manifestation author, Neville Goddard, his favorite book, Resurrection, he actually tattooed Neville Goddard on his shoulder, on his arm. He's got Neville right there. And another one, Joe Vitale, Dr. Joe Vitale, Dr. Fire, or Mr. Fire for that matter, from The Secret. He even coined a term, he loves Neville Goddard so much, called to Nevilize, to get in that feeling state. And that's a bit of what I want to talk with you about tonight, because the master key for manifestation is prayer. But it's not how you think. The master key for manifestation is prayer, which equals attunement, or vibrational alignment, or a vibrational lock. So with that said, we're going to share one more story as we're diving into things. So last night, yesterday afternoon, was a very interesting one to us. So we have this book, Automatic Writing Experience. I've got it right here. I'm so, so proud of this book. It's my #1 book, our #1 book for changing people's lives, because it teaches you how to speak with spirit, to communicate with spirit, whether you call it angels, guides, loved ones on the other side, guardian angels, God, source, universe, Jesus, Buddha, Allah, whomever, Mother Mary, anyone you can communicate to on the other side. It's a meditative process where you go quiet, you put pen to paper, and you're channeling almost from day #1. Super proud of the book. It is now the #1 best-selling new angels and spirit guides book in the world. How does it get any better than this? Well, yesterday afternoon, we got a very small email from our publisher saying, whoops, we're out of stock again. Now, if you've been listening to this the last few weeks, I've said, get your 3 copies early. Get one for you, one for a loved one, and one for somebody struggling to help them change their lives. Get your 3 copies early because it's going to run out again. And it ran out. Now, it does beget the question, Michael, should you have said that? Because did you get a vibrational lock? And did you create the running out of books? Well, I'm going to choose to see everything as a positive. And by the time you're done tonight, I hope you see everything as a positive too. And if you take our Manifestation Mastery class each Wednesday, 4 Wednesdays a month with us, I believe you're going to see everything as a positive too. However, when the information comes in that nobody can buy your book, and books tend to, historically, although we break all of the historical trends, books tend to sell through what I call King Mo, all hail King Mo, momentum. You go, uh-oh, what is going on and what does this mean? So my first reaction is a head-based reaction of we've got to figure out what's going on. And then I go to prayer and I get busy. What do? Do I get down on my knees? Do I get down in front of my altar? Do I go, God, please help me. Please, 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 please get the book back in stock. No, that perpetuates a state of lack. that hammers you down, that puts you in a place of weakness. You're not weak. You are God. You're not all of God. Well, maybe you are. The kingdom of heaven is within us, as is said in the Bible. I'm not a big Bible quoter, but we are the kingdom of heaven. The kingdom of heaven is within us. We do have the power of the universe if we only understood this. We do have incredible greatness within us. And incredible greatness doesn't want us to get down on our knees and grovel. Getting down on our knees and groveling is the frequency of groveling. If we're going to a place of attunement, a place of alignment, then we want to utilize a perfect prayer. A perfect prayer. What in the world is a perfect prayer? A perfect prayer is not something that you wrote out and you practiced and you repeated and you put on your Sunday best and you gave your perfect prayer. Nothing that's wrong with your Sunday best. I love dressing up. I love dressing up. I worked in the fashion industry a long time ago. Woohoo! With that said, though, that's why I love having Jessica try on clothes. Today there was a dress. She's like, oh, I'm not sure I would get it or I'd have an opportunity to wear it. And I'm going, but she didn't try it on. I'm bummed. We'll go back. But with that said, what's a perfect prayer? A perfect prayer is one done up here in the heavens. That's what Neville Goddard teaches about. And I'm just covering a fraction, a tiny picayune possibility of what he covers and what Napoleon Hill covers as well tonight. But we'll really be diving into it come Wednesday. A perfect prayer is me going to bed last night, not getting on my knees, not being, Dr. Wayne Dyer, he was brilliant in how he described it. He said he's a camel. He goes down on his knees in the morning and gets down on his knees in the evening. I believe that is kind of the energy of we've held toward prayer in the past, but now we get to take it to a new level. Let's instead go to the castles in the sky because that is where we belong. And let us pray up there. So I went to bed last night. Actually, before I went to bed, back up. Before I went to bed, find out the information, asking the publisher what's going on. And then I put myself in this beautiful state of the books are already back in stock. The books are here because they ran out of stock. Everybody listening to my live event tonight got their 3 copies, one for themselves, one for a loved one for somebody desperate in need. And everybody ordered the book and it was in stock the very next day. Woohoo! Oh my God, does this feel good? It feels so great that it's back in stock. Not only is it back in stock, but because everybody ordered, the book is doing better than ever. Better than ever. I can't believe it. It feels so good. It feels so amazing. Everybody's getting their copy of Awe and it's in stock and it's shipping to people. How does it get any better than this? Forgive me if I sound over the top. But get over the top with your prayers. I'm picturing, oh man, the Chapel and the Blues Brothers, the original Blues Brothers movie back in the 70s. And that state of ecstasy in dance. In fact, they had trampolines for the professional acrobatists who were in there as James Brown is singing. And everybody is getting into this state of ecstasy. Do you see the light? Amen. I do see the light. When I get into this ecstatic state of perfect prayer, of it already being here, seeing it, feeling it, knowing it, joyously celebrating in it. Prayer is celebration. Even in our darkest moments, if we can find some way to hop to the other side of our challenge. And I am not making light of this. I have clients right now going through the worst. I have clients whose spouses are going through the worst. But if they can hop to the other side of it and get themselves in that playground of ecstasy, or even fractionally speaking, for a glimpse of a moment, put them on the other side of the challenge they're experiencing. Wow. That changes everything. So I'm doing this last night. I'm putting myself in the state. I'm feeling it. I'm experiencing. I'm celebrating that not only is it back in stock, but it's catapulted our sales to a whole new level. Meaning our book right now is, I think, well, it's in the top 10,000 books worldwide and #1 bestseller in its category. But I see it, maybe it's under 2,000. Maybe it's under 1,000. Maybe it's in the top 1,000 books. Maybe it's trucking even down from there because it went out of stock. Woohoo! So I'm getting into this feeling state last night. And then I get an email. I don't know if it was 1 minute. I don't know if it was 5 minutes after I put myself in this state. And it's from the publisher. And he says, I have confirmed Amazon now has an additional 1,000 books in stock. And they should go live in the next day or two. In other words, we're back in business. Woohoo! This is like 1 minute, maybe 5 minutes after I put myself in that state. What is perfect prayer? It's getting in frequency. It's getting in vibration. It is getting in harmony with what you desire. Perfect prayer is the truest master key for manifestation. It's a field of vibrational attunement. It is this field, this energy that is all around us, that if we get in level with it, pops open all the doors. It is the highest level attunement there is. Now, I'm listening to some beautiful music in the background, and I'm feeling the vibration of it. Oh, it's kind of nice. Can't tell if it's a ukulele or exactly what it is. I don't believe so. But I kind of feel it. Feel it in my heart. Breathe in with me. And out. Breathe in again. And out. Can you feel a little bit of that peace? That's prayer. Prayer is not the words. It's not the message you seek. Prayer is a vibrational attunement that opens up the doors to what you're looking for. Prayer is never about physical words, physical things, but a vibration. You could think of it as synchronicity. You can think of it as a vibrational handshake. What do I mean by vibrational handshake? Well, I talk about this we have a Thursday. Oh my God, this Thursday's event with me is taking Think and Grow Rich to a whole new level. And I blow out attunement on a level that I wasn't even fully familiar with before I had some amazing channelings beforehand. See, every day I'm going into my automatic writing and I'm channeling from the guides and I'm getting more lessons about this. And it takes my life, Jessica's life, to a whole new level. We teach about it, take their lives to a whole new level. We get a new teaching, goes to a whole new level, and on it goes. And so what I was talking about Thursday is we've all had the crazy uncle. Well, maybe we all haven't. I have certainly had the crazy uncle. You try to shake hands with them, and they're moving their hand all over the place, and you can't find a way to shake hands with them until you get into a lock or attunement. You got it. This is what attunement is. It's synchronicity at the highest level, or a vibrational handshake, where what you want is behind a door that's vibrating at a certain frequency. The future is already here. An infinitude of frequencies exist, or futures exist. It was a Freudian slip. An infinitude of frequencies exist. Your key is getting into alignment with the future that you desire and getting that handshake and the door blasts open. Let's think about it more in technology terms. Let's go tech when it comes to prayer. If you think of prayer as vibration, as frequency, as attunement, getting in tune with, then you can remember old school movies, whether it was probably like a Men in Black or going all the way back to Matthew Broderick in War Games, or any of these movies that had spies in it. They had, or even Beverly Hills Cop, I believe, they had these keypads, or heck, a home security system. They had a keypad where you would press a code, and a door opens. You press the keys and the door opens. What happens? Well, the door isn't smart, but what it is doing is looking for a certain frequency, a certain tone, and that tone unlocks the door. Today, we go onto our phone to unlock it. Actually, in the old school days of voicemail, even better, we would press a code to get our voicemail, and that code had a frequency, a tune behind it, sort of like a touch tone phone. And it was the tune or the frequency that would unlock your phone or unlock your voicemail. Or one more example, in the past, ATMs used to make sound with the keypad, and it was those tones, that chord that you're playing with the keypad, that would allow you to get out money. None of them took place at the frequency of words. None of them required you to say abracadabra. Beautiful word for that matter. We'll go there in one of our upcoming classes. But instead, it was about the frequency. That's what we can say about prayer as well. It's about the tone. It's about the frequency. It's not about what you say. So having a perfect prayer doesn't have anything to do with having perfect language. So with that said, one of the things that we're going to be talking about with Neville Goddard coming up on Wednesday is what he calls the law of reversibility. I have a similar law that's called the law of inverse transformation. The law of inverse transformation. What does that mean? It means, in shortest terms, because I'm hearing the law of thermodynamics popping into my head right now. Law of thermodynamics and about conservation of energy. What does all this physics have to do with anything? It's flitting around in my brain. Well, we can turn heat into electricity. We can turn electricity back into heat. It can go both ways. We can make something cold with electricity, and that cold can power electricity as well. We can pump water uphill with electricity, and that water can come downhill and turn a turbine and create electricity as well. This is the law of reversibility. So now let's go back. Let's play with it. Let's go back to playing with energy, with the keypad, with the phone, with all of these things. We punch in a tone, patunk. Something opens. But you know what's really cool? Is that as far as the universe is concerned, it doesn't care whether the door opened and a tone played, or a tone played and the door opened. It's completely irrelevant. What does this have to do with anything? For prayer to work, it's irrelevant if something has already taken place or not. Completely irrelevant. I learned this a long time ago. I read a book on peak performance. I was training at the Olympic Training Center. I was trying to race bicycles in Europe. And I learned that they had been studying with astronauts who were doing visualization before they took flight. And the astronauts' physiology was changing as they would visualize taking flight in the exact same ways, to the exact same propensity, as if they were literally taking flight. The physiology of the body didn't care. What does this mean? We've all heard the expression, if you go there in the mind, you can go there in the body. But actually, quite literally, if you go there in the mind, the body is already there. The thought created a physiological response. Here's the reverse. So this law of reversibility, or law of inverse transformation. If I give you a nervous thought, your body will create a nervous reaction. If the body has a nervous reaction, you will inevitably create a nervous thought. Let's give an example of this. If in the morning Jessica gets up and comes into the kitchen and I'm freaked out about, I'm not ready for this meeting, I'm not ready for the this, I'm not ready for the that, I'm feeling overwhelmed, whatever it may be. First off, an attunement, you're a tuning fork, which means that everybody gets in attunement, vibrational alignment, with the largest tuning fork in the room. So if I'm in the kitchen going, I, poor Jessica comes in the kitchen and she's going to be going, I, and not knowing why. Her physiology, we have what's called mirror neurons. It's used so that babies will watch us and learn from us. They will mimic and practice what we're doing. Mirror neurons are designed for our growth. They're also designed for our social abilities. If you go into a room and somebody is cold and standoffish, and you can find a way to kind of match their cold and standoffish a little bit, but melt. And so you meet them where they are and you start to melt back from it. You start to unlock them because they get in attunement with you, because their mirror neurons hook onto yours. They first go, oh, there's something familiar. And then you can start to pull them back from that locked place. Mirror neurons and sales certainly go hand in hand. So I'm in the kitchen or in the living room or in the wherever, and I'm nervous, and Jessica gets up and she gets nervous. And what happens? Chances are, because when we get nervous, when we get stressed, when we get worried, we lose at least 20 IQ points, probably a lot more than that. And we go from Einstein to almost being the village, I'd say village idiot, but I don't want to pick on anybody. But we certainly go from Einstein to less than Einstein, shall we say. So now Jessica is in a less than Einstein place. And she doesn't ask me what's wrong. She starts looking for things to be afraid of. That's right. The physiology of being afraid helped her find things to be afraid of. Versus me, I found things to be afraid of, and it created the physiology of fear. It went both ways. What's this have to do with prayer? Well, it means, let's add one more piece of physics. I love this piece. This is my favorite piece of all time. Quantum science has it going on too. This is one of my favorite pieces of all time because this one comes from relativity. Quantum science, that's voodoo action at a distance. According to Einstein, that takes it to a whole new level. Let's go to Einstein. Time is not real. Time can certainly flow both ways, but it is not real. What does that mean? Well, quantum science says we have an infinitude of futures, an infinite number of possible futures, and without time, all existing at the same time and space. They're all here right now. Every future you can imagine is here right now. Every future, the future of your worst nightmares, the future of your greatest dreams, and the future of everything in between. And know this one little secret. The universe didn't come here for you to play in the future of nightmares. It came for expansion. It came for growth. It brought you here for you to live the most amazing, incredible, possible life possible, not to punish you for the error of your ways or for some karmic burning off or other bullshit that you've been taught or told. It's all wrong. You came here for greatness. You came from greatness. So you came here for greatness. Really. And there is an infinite number of doors for greatness open to you, ready to open to you, when you get into vibrational alignment. It's funny, we have a rooster, I feel like saying which came first, the chicken or the egg. It doesn't matter whether the door came first or the prayer came first. When they're in lock, you will open the doors. This is where causality gets really weird. Because to the universe, it's irrelevant, completely irrelevant which came first, the prayer or the manifestation. It doesn't care. It says vibrational door, vibrational lock, the door is open. The door is open, vibrational lock, which means, as the expression goes, be really careful what you wish for, because you can have it if you have a lock. So causality gets weird because we think prayer causes the outcome. But what if we're hearing a whisper or a scream of the universe saying, this is what you want, and the outcome causes the prayer? I know we're going a lot of different directions here tonight, all on this thread of the feeling state, all on this thread. There was a point I was going for. Getting into the feeling state, seeing it already here, knowing it, causality. Prayer causes the outcome, but that's not the case. Did you know you're being set up? I'm not setting you up. Universe is setting you up. This is a cosmic setup. We ended up going to Palm Springs today. I was trying to find the perfect place for us to go hike today. And Jessica wanted to go check out this most amazing, so she thought, backpack today. And because that seed of the backpack was planted in her mind, we ended up hiking near the store that carried the backpack, which was the main street in Palm Springs. And it was awesome. It was perfect. The question is, who planted the seed to the backpack that got us going back to Palm Springs? And why? Was it so she could check out a backpack, which turned out to be, not quite what she was looking for? Was it so that we could go into a running shoe store? Because I live out in the desert, and so my shoes are filled with cactus barbs, and it's time to get new pairs? Wasn't it? Was it so that we could talk about this? Talk about it, on air tonight? Maybe. But we were set up because the thoughts in our minds do not come from us. They may come from our future selves. Our future self is real. Our future self is already here. Our future self, if you go into something like automatic writing, you can write to your future self and see and get an idea and hear the very ideas that they're pumping you continuously to make things even easier for you. That's why automatic writing is so powerful. You can write to your future self and say, where do I go from here? Because time's not real. So it is a cosmic setup, which means, which came first, the prayer or the outcome? It doesn't matter. But the definition of faith is knowing that when you get to this vibrational attunement, that door has to open. Has to open. By definition, this is called the law of balance. Every equation by design must be in perfect balance. Every equation must be in perfect balance. If you have the feeling state, you must, by design, have the result. And if you have the result, then by definition, you must have the feeling state, which is why it's so important when we go into prayer. It is not down on our knees. It is not, God, forgive me. I'm not worthy, but, oh my God, that will create the exact unworthiness that is the opposite of what you desire. Get into that state of, God, I'm rocking it. I'm happy. And I'm not talking bearded white guy in the sky. That's just my term. It can be anything. It can be giant cheeseburger in the sky, whomever, whatever. Inner wisdom, guides, angels. I'm rocking it. I want to keep rocking it. I feel these books here. I feel the love here. I feel the job here, the money here, this here, that here. I just feel the peace. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Which we certainly might get to the law of gratitude before the end. We'll see if there's time. But if you want to talk about one tool, if you're going, I can't get in that state. I guess we are going there. I can't get in that state. I can't imagine. That's a block. That's a subconscious block. That's an emotional wound. That's a big fat alligator in your path trying to chomp you as you're trying to get from here to there. Go to gratitude. Skip the alligator pit. Go to the exact other side. Put yourself already here. The law of gratitude states when you put yourself in the place of grace, of thanks for it already existing, it must take place. Thank you for my job. Thank you for my house. Thank you for my bills being paid. Thank you for my loved one recovering from COVID. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. With feeling. This is something that was so important to Napoleon Hill. It is so incredibly important to Neville Goddard, which is why we're dovetailing one to the next. Because it has to be from a state of emotion. Energy in motion. If there is no energy, there is not the result. Because the law of balance says every equation by design must be in perfect balance. So if you've got, woohoo, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. The door goes click, pops open. And here comes your gift from the universe. If you go, thank you, thank you, thank you. Click, a different door pops open, but not the one you desire. One of the things we're going to be doing in class, because I can hear the questions coming already, is we got 4 Wednesdays in a row to help you to do this, is to help you find a way that in life's darkest moments, in the dark night of the soul, for you to still find a way to get to that feeling state, no matter what's going on. This is so important. This is where Neville Goddard takes it to an entirely new level. Because the feeling state is already there, but how do you link up to it when you feel like crap? And we're going to be going through tool after tool after tool after tool after tool. 2 ways to get started is 1, check out somebody who's already doing what you want to do. Look at the world through their eyes. Get yourself in their state. That can be pretty cool. 2nd, get to a time in your life when you were in that state and work to anchor it in. Simple places to begin. Anchor it in. Neville takes this, though, to a whole new level, which we're going to be doing Wednesday. Now, briefly, because I don't want to take us too off tangent, you can go to, well, Jessica will put the link down where you can go for class. It's $7 for the month. If you want to continue month after month with the masters, it's only $28. I channel Neville Goddard. I can't believe I even say that. I ended up channeling Napoleon Hill for the last month, completely blew my mind. And Neville is already talking with me, and I'm going to be channeling him, taking these teachings, disseminating them, and help you get a new up-leveled version or modern version of his book, Resurrection, which is really a rebirth of you. That's what resurrection is. It is getting you attuned to the highest level possible. Why do we live life down here? Let's resurrect you. Let's give you a rebirth, a new sense of life, a new joie de vivre, a new love for life at an entirely new level. Because at that new level, everything is freaking possible. I can't believe I said that. Because everything already exists. You want that, you get in vibrational alignment. You want that, you get in vibrational alignment. You get that, you're already in attunement with you. It's already here. That's what resurrection means. That's what we're diving into. How does it get any better than this? And that's a term I stole from Dane here, one of my dearest friends in this field of asking questions at the highest vibrational level. So let's cover a few more things and let's open it up to questions. So I'm going to take you from the woohoo, let's get to the state, and now let's crash it through the floor. I'm so sorry. The law of negativity. What does that mean? Well, the law of balance says that every equation must balance. So if you're going, Michael, I'm doing my law of attraction work. Michael, I'm doing my manifestation. Oh my God, Michael, I'm doing it 24/7 and it's not working. I would say, actually, the law of balance is always working. It doesn't know how to work, not work. What do you mean by that? Well, I've got an ice tray for my freezer. And the ice, if put on a flat surface, if I fill the thing with water, it will always balance out. You will not have one ice tray that's partially full and another one that's partially empty. It will always flow until it gets to balance. That's how water works. Simple math. That's what the law of balance does. So if part of the ice trays are full, or the little cubey things, I don't have the words for it. Part of the ice cube trays, whatever we call it, is full, and part of it is empty. What does that mean? It means you've got a negative side and a positive side. In other words, the equation is out of balance in a sense, so it has been brought into a new level of balance. The law of negativity means if it's not working out, it's because there's something negative taking away from it. So if you're saying, I put myself in the feeling state, I put myself in the feeling state, I just don't know if, wait, stop. I just don't know if. I just don't know. It's not that there's a problem having doubt. Fear and doubt can be powerful drivers. But the word faith implies to know without knowing why. To know without knowing why. That's where Neville masters the game. That is where he nails it. How do I know without knowing why? How do I know I can succeed without knowing why? How do I know I can have that partner without knowing why? How do I know that I am a millionaire, a billionaire, a gazillionaire, that I'm the next blah, 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 sliced bread, whatever, without knowing why? That's what we'll be playing. That's where Neville lives. That's the definition of faith. If instead you bring doubt into that equation, yeah, but, boom. I've got that feeling state, I can do it, yeah, but, boom. You look around you, you've been doing all of this manifestation work, and you're not seeing it in your life around you. It's because of the law of negativity. You've got a negative program that's sucking those ice cube trays dry. So let's take it back to the book yesterday. So I find out the book is out of stock. And for a minute I go, oh no. Even though I trained myself so much to know something great can come out of this. But for a minute, I still have that reaction of a, oh no. Fine, perfect, be human. It's all good. If I stayed in that bummed state, and I'm thinking about why it's going to work, and I'm feeling that it's going to work, and I'm not knowing that it's going to work, but I'm believing that it's going to work, but I'm faking it because I'm still bummed, then I am activating the law of negativity that is going to bring me in harmony, in balance, at attunement, at a lower octave. If instead I'm running around in my underpants at night, for instance, going, woohoo, woohoo, and I'm not thinking about how it's going to work. I don't care how it's going to work. That ain't your business. What does prayer mean? It means it is none of your business how it works out. Your business is to stay out of your business and to get into the frequency with everything that you've got. Yes, this is a practice. Yes, this is something that you get better at. Yes, this is something you can train and ingrain into you. So you become a walking, talking manifestation magnet through being in a walking, talking state of perfect prayer, a state of attunement at a highest octave. It's living and breathing this law of balance. We could call it the law of prayer if we want, which is really taking this law of balance, saying the equation must always balance, but at the highest state of attunement you realize. Prayer is the law of balance coupled with the highest state of attunement. The law of prayer is the state of balance, the law of balance, coupled with the highest state of attunement. The highest state of attunement you realize is exactly what you will materialize. I'll say that again. The highest state of attunement you realize is exactly what you will materialize. And to realize is to see, to make real eyes, to make real through the mind's eyes, not to make real through the head, not to make real through your intellect. The intellect doesn't give a damn about what you want if it can't see it first. I'll believe it when I see it, says the intellectual mind. The mind of perfect prayer says, I will believe it, and then I will see it. See it and believe it, and then I will see it. The mind of perfect prayer doesn't give a flying flip if the intellectual mind cannot see it yet. It doesn't give a hoot. Because the intellectual mind is playing such a low octave game. It's playing at the bottom of the piano. Now, those notes have their time and place. They have their time and space. But that is not the law of prayer. The law of prayer is the law of balance coupled with the highest state of attunement. The highest state. Let's play the chords up here. That's where it's more fun. The highest state of attunement you realize is exactly what you'll materialize. You can dance as I'm doing this. In fact, the more you dance, the more you'll hang in there, the more you'll be able to learn, the more you'll be able to learn. You should shake it out for a second. I like to do this halfway through every class. I'm going to take questions in about 5 minutes. Just shake things out. Get that energy flowing. Highest statement of attunement you realize is exactly what you materialize. What you realize is what you materialize. Attunement, realize, materialize. Get that down and you've got it all. So when you look around at your life, what you're seeing is prayer in action. Prayer in action. What we were doing down on the street of Palm Springs today was prayer in action. We felt incredibly abundant. We attract abundance. You feel incredibly whatever. That is what you attract. I call this the law of incontrovertibility. It's a long word. Law of incontrovertibility. Things are exactly as they appear to be and as they feel to be. Law of incontrovertibility. You can't argue with the universe. If you feel in the gutter, life is in the gutter. If you feel on top of the moon, life is on top of the moon. If you feel poor, it's because you're in a poor state, poor feeling state, which actually doesn't disempower you. It empowers you. Because if you were to say, I feel rich, I feel rich. Oh my God, I really feel rich. Again, we're going to be diving into that for the next 4 weeks in a row so that you will become an alchemist, so that you can go boom like that and transform from a feeling state of less, of lack, and get yourself, resurrect you, bring you to the highest octave, highest level of attunement. We'll get you there with Neville. But if you can get yourself, boom, to that state of feeling rich, knowing you're rich, then sooner or later, it's a guarantee you will be rich because the equation must balance. The law of balances is incontrovertible. Everything must always balance. Put another way, in accounting terms, the balance sheet must always come to null. Every single time. Last note, then we're going to open it up to questions. When you get in this vibrational state, forgive me, I don't know any other way to put it. It's the license plate on our beautiful, I'm so, yellow Tesla, gold wheels, childhood dream come true. It's got a license plate on it that says, woohoo, 8. Infinity on its side, which is a whole process that we teach in AWE, the automatic writing experience, whole process of getting you into this state. There's one reason to get the book. It's because your manifestation skills go through the roof, because you work with the angels, you work with your guides and getting into this feeling state. The Woohoo 8 is the most powerful tool I've ever seen for manifestation, for creation, bar none. Got a whole section of manifestation in here going through that Woohoo 8. That Woohoo 8 is a state of woohoo. It already exists, which does what? It takes the, well, I can't do that because of this, or well, I was hurt because of that, or well, my parents did this, or somebody else did that. All of these, can you feel the energy behind that? It takes all of this lower frequency junk, and that's the place way to put it, and it leapfrogs you right on the other side. Prayer always takes place at the highest state. So when you feel yourself at that highest state, you have superseded any wounds, any blocks that are taking place with the subconscious mind. Do we need to rewire you? No. Do we need to do years and years of clearing work or time on the couch? No. You're saying that I can just jump? Yes. Does that mean I don't want to work on things? Oh, I think clearing is an awesome thing to do. However, you just bypass the wound or block through your prayer. You bypassed it. What is the last note that I say on this? I know I said last note. For myself, yesterday, the book is out of stock. Boo. It's in stock. It feels great. It feels great. Oh my God. I know I'm going a little nuts. Childlike, not childish. But that's this excitement, this energy. And I literally leapt beyond the block of it being out of stock. And I get the email from the publisher saying, nope, we've shown there's another 1,000 there. They're just going to reconcile them in the system. How does it get any better than that? You can do this too. You can do this and so much more. So I want to open it up to questions. Please come join us Wednesday. It's $7 for the whole month. That's like what, $1.50? It's less than $2. You get to $1.66 per class. You don't want to do next month at $28? Stop. Take this knowledge, take it with you, teach it to everyone. Sit down, join us in class. It's on Zoom. Bring a loved one, bring a friend, bring somebody you don't even know. That'd be a little strange during COVID times. I don't care, but come join us. It's only $7. And get 3 copies of this thing. This isn't expensive either. 1 copy allows you to tap in, to manifest, to find your purpose, path, and direction, to speak with the angels and guides, to learn how to personally channel on a daily basis and get direction. A 2nd copy you give to a loved one so that they can transform their lives. And if they live with you, so they're not stealing your book, or give it like to a parent or a child or someone you care about dearly. Give a 3rd one away just to somebody who's in the dark, somebody who's struggling, somebody who's wearing a cloak of heaviness around them, which affects everyone. Give it to them as a gift. You know what happens when you give a gift? It always comes back. You don't give things away so that they come back. That's just another immutable law. The law of giving always comes back, and always comes back transmuted at the highest level. The more that you give away, the more that comes back. So get a 3rd copy. Heck, get a 4th, get a 5th, get a 6th, and start handing these things out. The more people that are tapped into spirit, to source, to universe, the better world we will have. So it's very selfish of me. It should be very selfish of you to change as many lives as we possibly can, because that will come back 10-fold, 100-fold, even 7 or 8 billion-fold. So with that said, I'm going to open it up to questions here. And I hope everybody is thanking Jessica, who is, I can hear like sparks coming off of her fingers. She's been typing so fast on the keys here. And she has put questions down below here somewhere for me. And if not, here we go. Here's how this is going to work. I'm going to keep going with questions until either Jessica and I are exhausted and we're going to go to a meditation, or until the questions end and I'm going to go to a meditation. And we are going to do a attunement, a perfect prayer attunement group meditation together tonight at the end of this. And if you haven't caught one of our group meditations, they are powerful. So you're going to want to hang into the end of this and bring with you whatever you want to attune to. So if you have an intention, if you have a prayer, if you have something that's super important, bring that to this meditation, which we'll do at the end of the questions here. All right, so let us dive into questions. John Road, what if it all came at the same time, since time doesn't exist anyway? John, I love your question. I love your question. 2 words, John: divine intelligence, which means that there's a lot more going on here that meets the eye. It really is a co-creative process. So if you're not ready, I'll take our example. If you weren't ready to be on the Oprah show, universe wouldn't give you that until it felt you could handle that. Things will not be doled out in your time, but in universe's time. But time is not real. Yes, but we are playing in some holographic training wheels of a universe here, a training simulator where universe can dole out things in the time that's best for us. It can buffer the response. So we don't worry about getting everything that we want at once. That's the yeah, but that keeps it from happening. Actually, John, what I want you to look for, and there are others in this experience. So whenever I ask it, whenever I'm answering a question, find the tune that matches vibration with you out of each question. John, there's a fear of success in you. There's a fear that says, if I get it all at once, things will blow up. It's sort of like people have a fear We probably had it a long time ago. I'm sure we had it. I know we had it. A fear that says if we got a lot of money in, we're going to have to pay a lot of taxes. Oh my God. And so the universe goes, oh, don't worry about that. We won't give you much money then, because you're so worried if you get to be really successful, you're going to have to pay a lot of taxes. Now I view things as, well, if we're ending up having to pay millions and millions and millions of dollars in taxes, that means we're making hundreds of millions of dollars and changing hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of millions of lives. How does it get any better than this? So, John, I want you to go hunting for the fear of your success, because that is a big yeah, but for all of us. With that said, if things are coming slower than you desire, you can give thanks for that too, because the law of balances says it's always going to come about. But note, I didn't say it's going to come about in this minute. Don't lose faith. That is the knowing that it's going to come about. Know that it will come about, but leave that. Sort of like saying, knowing how it's going to come about is none of your business, John. Knowing when it's going to come about is none of your business, John, as well. Infinity 2. Hey, Q. My question to Michael. Have Michael give tools to delete negative memories, and have Michael give tools that can enhance positive memories. So Q, my tool, Infinity 2. He's upgraded. You've upgraded. I love you. My favorite tool for this, favorite and simplest tool, is EFT tapping, but not in the way that most people are familiar with EFT tapping. EFT tapping is called emotional freedom technique. I'm going to see how I can get through this really, really quickly. And it is a process where the way I teach it is we have a positive emotion. I love myself. Coupled with a negative emotion, even though I feel like crap because I lost my job. Positive emotion combined with negative emotion. Coupled with tapping, which is to tap out a negative, to tap out or short out a negative state inside of you. A negative state inside of you. And Jessica's making a comment to me. We will dive into Soul Link, another powerful technique, next time. A very, very powerful technique for which Jessica is becoming a Zen Jedi master. It's really, really cool to see how she's progressing on this. I love myself. So we go through 7 or 8 different acupressure points. I love myself completely and fully, even though I'm so worried about the bills I just got. I love myself completely and fully, even though I'm so worried about the bills I just got. And I've got whole videos on this. I love myself completely and fully. I love myself completely and fully. I love myself completely and fully. Love myself. I love myself. I love myself. But then after that, we replace it with a positive. I am loved. I'm surrounded by goodness. I feel magnificent. I feel on top of the world. I'm in a place of celebration for all the goodness coming to me. I'm surrounded by goodness. I'm filled with goodness. Everything I want is here. I have the Midas touch. I am healthy. I am wealthy. I am successful. I am filled with goodness. I am surrounded with goodness. I am loved by the angels. I am protected. I am cared for. Woohoo! And you do that state of imprinting upon your subconscious. And you can't help but short out those negative memories and really enhance those positive ones. So next time we'll play with Soul Link. Thank you so, so much. Infinity 2. Rick Marciniak. I have a question. What causes some people to have naturally lower levels of energy and not be able to readily tap into woohoo type energy. So Rick, there are a couple different things here. First off, we do have our own doshas or body, mind state, and everybody's going to be different, which means nobody else in the world has to have my woohoo energy. You can have Rick Marcinet's energy. It can be whatever is your state, your type. But with that said, a lot of us have been knocked down by life, knocked down by our families, or the biggest actually, and it's coming to me right now. I believe I've had a guest or two mention it before, but it's really quite profound. Every single one of us has experienced trauma in our lives. It doesn't have to mean that we saw a rape or a murder, or that we were raped, or somebody we know was killed, or that we were in a war zone, or anything that dramatic. Although I would say with COVID, with the election, with everything that's gone on in the last year, we are all literally struggling with PTSD. Every single one of us. This is a label to put on it. But we all could do with some clearings here. But those traumas, which can be really, really simple or small, particularly as we're younger, but they don't have to be. Everything can be a trauma. It doesn't have to be, but it can be to our subconscious mind. Those traumas put us in a very numbed out state, or a very guarded or walled off state to protect ourselves. And a lot of the time, our job, and this is where Infinity 2 is talking about a tool called Soul Link, which I'll get into next week, is talking about how we can clear these things out to get back to our natural energetic state, because these traumas drag us down and pull us down. They keep us in the muck and mire. We can use techniques like Soul Link, like emotion code, like EFT tapping, like shamanic soul retrieval work, and peel off the different layers that get us lighter and lighter and lighter still, till we're back at whatever our individual natural state is. I don't know anybody who's quite the same woohooey as me. There's some people who are incredibly energized, but not the same. This is my way of translating the woohoo of the universe. It came out of my first near-death experience. I basically woke up from my first near-death experience, and I'm going, woohoo! A lot of those layers had been peeled away from me. That connection to source, I don't know if I can say closer. We're all spirit. We're all walking, talking spirit. But I had a taste of something that I brought back through that energy. We all have that natural state of higher vibration, but it will express itself differently. But we all have that natural state as we start to clear away a lot of the wounds, a lot of the blocks, and a lot of what is numbing us up. Last note, Rick, last note for everybody on this topic is look at what you're ingesting, body, mind, and soul. Because if you're ingesting a lot of news, negative, worthless stimulation, if you're ingesting a lot of gossip, you got to think what that means. Gossip, go sip something positive. If you're ingesting a lot of gossip, if you're ingesting a lot of jealousy, if you're ingesting a lot of negativity in any way, shape, or form, then you do not have much energy to play with. Victimhood is another one. If you're ingesting a lot of poor me, woe is me, there is no chance to get in that vibrational state of woohoo. Another reason, come play with us come Wednesday, because we have 4 weeks of resurrection, of bringing you to a higher octave, of getting you past that lower level state. So you can tap into the energy of woohoo, even if you're not running around literally going, woohoo. I feel like we should do a bunch of woohoos, maybe at the end. All right, Anton, geez, I keep on wanting to give everybody a French name tonight. Anton Leon. Can you pray without saying words? Absolutely. Dance. There's prayer. Hum. One of the most powerful prayers and attunements on the planet. Do your om or your ah. That's without saying a word. warm up on the inside and get yourself in the state and feel it, experience it, revel in it, celebrate in it without a word. You don't need the words. I know we can go, in the beginning, there was the word. Before there was the word, there was the frequency behind the word. That's what we're talking about, is getting into that frequency state. Craig's list. Would you consider sacrificing and living cheaply for a while? Lack mentality. By definition of the words you are choosing. Sacrificing is putting yourself in a state of less than a state of lack. Living cheaply is putting yourself in a state of lack. Now, Craig's list, if you said, would you consider living frugally, living smartly, living well within a snug budget for the purposes of X, Y, and Z, then no. But going beyond, so Anton was just talking about, can you pray without saying a word? What we're looking at is the frequency. Every word has a frequency, Craig's list. The word sacrifice has a frequency. Cheap has a frequency. Choose different words and upgrade your prayer. What's your prayer? How you are living your life. And you frame your life by the words you tell yourself. So I want you to ascribe, to write, and to give new meanings to what you're doing. Give new words. That's a new prayer. So, Piera Bissot. Will we have access to recordings for always? So that's a brilliant question, Piera. For the classes, so if you go into our Manifestation Mastery Circle, you'll always have access to the Manifestation Mastery Circle classes. You'll have access to the ones that we're teaching now, but you're coming in for Neville, you'll have access to the past classes on Napoleon Hill as well. So you'll have access to the entire library. How does it get any better than that? Indefinitely. You'll always be able to come back and access these things. Edward Katie. Love Edward. Can you channel Mr. Rogers? Edward, that would be too cool. I wonder what kind of class. Oh my God, that just warms my heart, Edward. What kind of class would that be? That is just too cool. How does it get any better than this? So, Edward, I have no idea what that would be as far as a manifestation masterclass to channel Mr. Rogers, but it would be cool. I haven't seen the Mr. Rogers movie. I have to believe that when a great actor, and I talked about this with the voice coach for Denise Woods, I want to say it is, the voice coach for Will Smith when he played Muhammad Ali. And I believe this is the case with all of the greats, all of the great actresses and actors who play, do biopic artistry, who play a character living or who's passed on. And they do it so incredibly well. What they do is they get in attunement. They get into frequency or vibrational lock. Will Smith got in vibrational lock with Muhammad Ali, and it helped, according to Denise, his voice coach, that Muhammad Ali was still alive, and so Will Smith could get into that vibrational lock, and he literally became him. This is important to understand. Your heroes aren't just your heroes. You can become your heroes. You can do all that they have done and more if you can get in vibrational lock with them. Which is why biographies are so amazing. Listening to those you love is so incredible. Viewing the world through their eyes as if you're inside of them, looking out at the world, gets you in vibrational attunement and can be so incredibly powerful. So this is going to be a last call for questions. I'm happy to keep going with questions for a little while. However, I only see there's one question left. So either we'll keep going if there are a few more questions. Don't be shy. Or Kathy's question may be the last. Kathy, how can one be sure you are not talking to your ego? And I guess, Kathy, I'm wondering if that's meaning in automatic writing that we're talking about, or at what point are we talking about how are we not sure that that is our ego? If you're doing automatic writing, you can literally ask, is this my ego speaking? When I first learned automatic writing and started channeling amazing words coming in about how great I was, how I was to teach, how I was to lead, how I was to speak from a mountaintop, how I was to speak from a mountaintop before millions of people down below me. And I'm going, oh my God, are you kidding me? That's totally my ego. It turns out I speak from a mountaintop in front of millions of people. How does it get any better than this? I didn't believe it, but I didn't know how to check in and ask, is this my ego? So now if I'm doing, and so I didn't do automatic writing for years after I first heard that, because I thought that must be my ego. When I started leaning into it, I started to be able to hear better and gain greater clarity. So what does that mean? It means, Kathy, don't worry if it's your ego, lean into it and learn from it. With that said, if you're sure it's your ego, grab a fresh sheet of paper and start writing out everything that ego has to say to you. Let her dump and then shred it, burn it, be done with it. Because those words have a frequency, have a vibration too. The more that you get those out, better. This is not about stuffing things in. People got that wrong about the law of attraction. What I think about is what I bring about. Therefore, I won't have the important conversations with myself. No, have the conversations with yourself. Get it out on paper and then shred it so that you're lighter and you can let go of it. Tiffany, I'm glad to keep the questions coming for just a little bit more here. Tiffany, can you talk about communicating telepathically with other people? So Tiffany, there are many ways that you can do this. And some people are certainly more talented than others. One of the pieces that's involved is learning how to dial down your own mind or be more discerning of, sort of like Kathy talking about, what are my thoughts? Because the more that you can get clear on what are my thoughts, the more that you can tell when other things are coming in could not be from you. And they may come in as words, or in a lot of my coaching sessions lately, they've been coming in as pictures or images. It's kind of weird Ooga Booga land when I say, tell me about a windowsill. Tell me about a watch. And I'm going, what in the world? But Tiffany, it's a practice. Automatic writing is my favorite tool for communicating telepathically with others because it's where I've developed that greatest attunement or that greatest handshake. And then it's easier to say and cast out a line. I want to speak with Napoleon Hill. Got him. All right, come back, Napoleon. Let's talk. I know I want to dive into Einstein. I'm looking forward to that day and really geeking out on this stuff. I'm going to have to just hold on for dear life. But he's a madman, and he's such a, we think of him as his intellect. He was a mystic. Newton, Sir Isaac Newton, he was a mystic. Darwin, he was a mystic. We've got all these guys pigeonholed into boxes of scientists. Guess what? The greatest scientists were all mystics. But once I practiced in automatic writing and practiced more and got to get to that frequency, that lock, attunement, became easier to cast that line. I have literally had people through awe, the automatic writing experience, and before the book came out, so watching the video-based program, that's at automaticwriting.com, or through me teaching them personally, who literally went on to careers as channels and mediums because they got that attunement. They got that lock. All right. Got a couple more questions here. So I haven't practiced A Course in Miracles fully, which is actually a channel text through an automatic writing process. So I haven't practiced A Course in Miracles fully, but my understanding is it teaches most of our desires are egoic based on illusion. How does this fit with my personal desires? A video on this. Well, that is a brilliant question, JJ. And I won't directly address how it goes in A Course in Miracles. I won't have the exact language to do that. What I will say is that, first off, we've given the ego a bad rap. Secondly, it's okay. It's okay to want what you want. Ask yourself, though, what is the feeling state behind it? So if you're wanting, well, I saw today a beautiful, I think it was my first one ever, white Ferrari. It was really cool looking. Although now I look at a Ferrari and I go, can I have electric, please? But I see this beautiful, it was a work of art as far as I'm concerned. I'm a car nut. This beautiful Ferrari. And if you say, I want a Ferrari so that I can get back at all of those people who told me I'd never make it. Okay, that's a challenging reason to do something. If I want a Ferrari, because I'm going to use that as a tool of teaching, as a tool of giving back, as the most amazing experience in the world. And you ask yourself, how does one feel? Is it light? Is it heavy? How does the other feel? Is it light or is it heavy? Those things that are heavy, those are egoic based that'll drag you down and suck you into the muck and mire. The things that are light, even though they may not be easy, you might go, well, I can do this. This might be a challenge. I can do this. I can get myself in that emotional state, but it feels light. That's coming from heaven. Your goal is to become more discerning and to feel the tugs on your heart. The tugs on your heart, not the tugs on your head. Head, ego, heart, love, expansive universe. When you feel the tugs on your heart, to go after them with everything that you've got. Now, use the example of Ferrari. It could be the example of opening a dozen schools. It could be the example of getting water pumps or water filtration system in different places in Africa to everybody who needs it, clean, fresh water. But follow the pulls on your heart and ask, is this heavy? Is this light? Or, put in A Course in Miracles terms, is this love? Is this fear? Pilardi 2020. Hi, Michael and Jessica. Can you share thoughts for those of us that speak 2 or more languages? Thank you, Pilardi. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Do you go back to your native tongue for prayer and automatic writing? Pilardi, A. You go, I love your question. A, though, go whichever way pulls on your heart. Whichever way. Realize this, though, Pilardi. And this fits in so perfectly with tonight. Prayer is not at the level of language. Prayer is at the level and speed of energy. It's something I've been teaching about over the last month, that manifestation takes place at the speed of energy, not at the level of language. What does that mean? It means that by very definition, every language has limitations to it. I occasionally break into broken Japanese because I love some of their words better. I'll break into French because I love some of their words better. I will break into Dutch because I love some of their words better. I'll break into Hebrew for that matter. Why? Because different languages have different descriptions of emotions, of states of being, of things that are more expansive and feel better and have definitions we can work with better. It's interesting if we think of our mind beyond thoughts or beyond words or supra words. Where would we be? In an energetic state without words to limit us. To define is to limit. So switch back and forth, Pilardi, as much as you want between languages, and you become more limitless. With that said, we're going to take 3 more quick questions, and then I am going to dive into the meditation. With that said, I'm going to put a request in my own prayer, and I can see it, I can feel it, I can experience it, to the Pook Star, Jessica, off to the side, to see if I can get some water by chance. And I'm feeling the water, sensing the water, and I'm giving thanks for the water. All right. Veronica. If you have a gift like mediumship, but you question whether you really want to do it, is it your responsibility to use it, help others, or you can choose not to use your gift? Free will, Veronica. I would encourage you to lean into the why and challenge yourself, because I do believe that every gift we have is an opportunity given to us by Spirit. An opportunity, not an obligation. Big difference. So I'm still very biased. I'm still an incredible athlete. I used to be a professional athlete. I could go back into racing or this or that if I wanted to. And at least as an age-graded racer, I could freaking rock it. But is that necessarily for my highest good and the highest good of all? Maybe, but I don't think so. I don't feel that's the case. So Veronica, you have to follow that feel, that pull, that tug on your heart. But I can see this really wrapped up in guilt, in heaviness, in confusion. And so I would go to things like, thank you. Hold on here. And it's sparkling water. How does it get any better than this? How does it get any better than this? I would encourage you, Veronica, to not throw it away, not to pursue it, but go into something like automatic writing, or if you can connect. Sometimes mediums have an easier job connecting with others' guides than their own. But I would dive into this with everything you've got and learn about it. I would certainly come to our Manifestation Mastery Circle, which I'll be talking about again in just 1 minute. Come to that this Wednesday, next Wednesday, the following Wednesday, and the following Wednesday, and dive into this feeling state. It's called resurrection because it's a rebirth. What does that mean? It means we're going to help you get to a higher octave, to play the game at a higher vibrational state. And you'll come away from this month, Veronica, with much greater clarity of whether you want to step into it or not. What we never came here to do, Veronica, we never came here to play at a level of guilt. We never came here to play at a level of obligation. We came here to play the game at the level of love. Love first here, and then love here. So we've got some healing to do on your heart, Veronica. We've got some soul searching. That I would dive into automatic writing for. And then you can lean into it with everything that you've got, or say, not now, not my time. I will wait. And if it chases me down and has to be done, then I will lean forward into it. Craig's List. So last two questions here. So would downgrading living situation and living less comfortable for a while in order to save money and invest in my future, would this be lack mentality? Yeah. Yes. Please forgive me, Craig's List. Let's look at the words. Downgrade. That doesn't sound too fun. So choose a perfect, choose an even better living situation for me to save money and invest in my future. That's upgrading. You can upgrade while choosing a different lifestyle. Note the words. You can upgrade while choosing a different lifestyle. We chose or were guided to this amazing space in the desert for this winter. It's freaking awesome. It doesn't have a lot of the things we like. It doesn't have the greenery. It doesn't have the water. That's okay. Because the language behind it is, it has made things easier. It has cleared the state. It has built an incredible foundation from which to grow. Very positive words and emotions I am ascribing to it. Live less comfortable. Let's change that. So real briefly, I got to race bicycles in Europe and a long time ago, distant galaxy, faraway planet, and I got to save money to go race bicycles in Europe. My way wasn't paid to get over there. I had to get over there first. Then they take care of everything. What did I do? Well, I went from training in the Olympic Training Center in the morning to somewhere late afternoon, early evening. I think it might have been like 5, 6 o'clock at night. I think I took a nap in between. Wow, I forgot about that. I would go crawl to, it was called Roadrunner Pizza in Colorado Springs. And I would go drive my old little beat up Mazda 626 from 5, 6 o'clock in the evening to 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning to get the money to go race in Europe. And then I would go to bed living in somebody's basement where literally I think, sit up in bed. I could not stand up in the basement. The ceiling was too low so that I could save money, so I could go do the most amazing experience at the time, chase my dreams. Oh my God, it was so incredible. Yes, I was exhausted because I then had to get up early and go to train at the Olympic Training Center. Yes, food often consisted of leftover pizza because that was where my money was going to get me to Europe. Yes, I couldn't even stand up in my home. Yes, it was awesome. See how I've ascribed different meaning to it. Last, Nancy, you can do this, Craigslist. You can do this. I want you to play with this. I want you to write stuff out. I want to barf out all the language you're speaking to yourself and then see how we can rewrite it. Nancy, come take our class. $7. Let's upgrade your language to yourself. Nancy Gomez. My son, 39 years old, Iraq War veteran. Oh gosh, I see it coming. Okay. Nancy, you got this. You've got this. You got this. First off, Nancy, and I guess I need to read it for everybody, but I feel you. Nancy Gomez, son, 39 years old, Iraq War veteran, ended his own life with a gun last August. Really hit me out of the blue. I really want to connect with him, but my energy is stuck. Nancy, first off, let's love yourself up like there's no tomorrow, because this is not your fault. There is nothing you could do about it. And I know you get that on some level, but on some level you don't. There is nothing you could do about it. He was shot through the heart in Iraq. He was already on the other side. I want to say, I'm so sorry, he was already dead. There was nothing you could do about it. Period. Ever, ever, ever. We've got to get that. We've got to understand that, because that guilt, that negativity, that trauma, that everything that is sucking you down won't let you live. And he's on the other side now, and he wants you to live. He wants you to know he loves you so, so much. If he could give you a hug now, he would. He loves you so, so much. So first, we have to start to heal the wounds, to allow ourselves to let go, not let go of him, not let go of the memory of him, not to let go of the energy of him, but to let go of the guilt behind it. Then, and certainly all of the processes mentioned here today, you can certainly use. Like I said, next week, I'll be talking to you about Soul Link, of which Jessica is a Zen Jedi master. I don't think I'd be able to get her on the air, but we'll be talking about it anyway. There's some amazing tools that I want you to dive in for yourself, to do some clearing work. And then you go into automatic writing, or you can start an automatic writing, and it'll do a lot of the work with you. Your guides will do this work for you. Go into your automatic writing. Start to make that connection, start to make that handshake, and then go there. Go there in automatic writing. Connect with him. So many people in automatic writing have connected with their loved ones. You can certainly do this too. A lot of people have found from automatic writing, they have a closer relationship with a son, with a daughter, with a husband, with a parent, with a grandparent. Still working on it, Grandma. One of my grandmothers is still trying to come through, and I've got to work on my bravery. I have spoken to her a little bit now. She was such a strong woman. And she says she's going to guide everything I'm doing. And I'm a little bit nervous about this. But you'll be able to do this. And then, Nancy, last thought. Walk. Walk, walk, walk. Walk on the beach. Walk in the woods. Walk in the fog, walk wherever you can, and get that energy flowing by getting yourself moving. So much love, Nancy. So much love. You can do this. You've got this. and keep in touch, because I know that on the other side of this, you will communicate with him, you will speak with him again, and you will learn so much from him on the other side. And if there's a last note here, and people may not know this, I've had 2 near-death experiences. If this has taught me anything, it's that the game is not the game. The end of life is not the end of life. It is just getting rocking. These are doors. You came through a door to get in here, one tunnel. You get through a door to the other side, other tunnel, but you will be rocking it. And so he is rocking it. And that is what he'd like to share with you. With that said, get to go into a meditation. Before that, come join us Wednesday. Oh my God, are we going to have fun? If you liked any of this, we're taking this come Wednesday to an entirely new level. Here's what I'm going to be doing the next couple of days. I'm going to be going into meditation. I'm going to be going into my automatic writing. And I'm going to be channeling Neville Goddard. And we're going to be having discussions going back and forth. What were his ideas almost 100 years ago? What would his ideas be today? How have things changed? What does this have to do with modern science? What can we prove now out of this? How can we take manifestation to a new level? What does this mean for the energetic, for the energy swirling all around us, and the energy of the time and the thinning of the veil? What does this all look like? And then boom, Wednesday, I'm going to disseminate it down, all of these conversations that I've had, and give you upgraded teachings from Neville Goddard. You could say from Neville Goddard and Michael Sandler, because I've been teaching this stuff for 25 freaking years. So we are going to take all of this stuff and give this to you in easy to digest pieces. I'm sure there are people here who have been to the Napoleon Hill class, and they can tell you what an amazing experience it has been. So we are going to take your energy to a new level, your unstuckedness to a new level. It's called resurrection for a reason this month, because we are going to renew your life at a higher octave. Oh my God. Oh goody. Are we going to have fun this week? And you do it with friends, with family. It's Zoom. You can show yourself, you cannot show yourself. But we are growing this huge, amazing community of energy workers, of light workers. You're an energy worker. If you listen to this, you're an alchemist. What's an alchemist? You transmute thought into things. What does that mean? Prayer. Prayer is the ultimate alchemy. Transmuting thought, energy, vibration, getting into a lock, creating things. We're going to teach you how to become an alchemist at the highest level. And we're going to play with Neville Goddard's work, who is absolutely the most amazing new thought leader when it comes to getting you into a state of emotion, no matter what. So whether it's for Nancy, Veronica, Pilardi, JJ, Tiffany, Kathy, maybe not so much Edward, maybe Edward, for everybody who's been asking a question, every single one of us can benefit from saying, all right, I feel stuck here. How do I get to this energy level you're talking about, Michael, playing at here? And that is what Neville is an expert at a higher level than perhaps anyone else. And so that's the game we're going to play. Jessica will put the link one more time. $7 to try it for a month. It's 4 Wednesdays a month. So we're going to do 4 out of the 5 Wednesdays this month will be Neville Goddard. And then I'm not sure yet, but I believe next month will be Florence Scovel-Shin. I am sure that it will be a female teacher next month. I'm pretty convinced it will be Florence. But it's $7 to try for a month, $28 if you want to continue. If you just want to do it for a month, great. If you want to do it for many months, great. I've had couples participate in this together. I've had brother and sister participate in this together. And frankly, get as many people around your computer as you can. And let's dive in and play together. How does it get any better than this? If you have a spouse who you can lasso in, drag them in, do so. It will be fun. All right. With that said, last note, get your 3 copies of Amazon.com, or come on over to automaticwriting.com and get all the bonuses, brain entrainment music, so many goodies. Automaticwriting.com. Do get 3 copies. Why? You need a copy for yourself so you can begin talking with your spirit, talking with angels, talking with guides, talking with loved ones on the other side, really beginning tomorrow. And so you get your copy, then you get one for a loved one, a parent, a spouse, somebody else in your family, close or distant. And then please get one for somebody in need. Consider that a gift of paying it forward. Help them to change their lives, and then they'll help somebody else, which helps all of us. All right, I'm going to take a sip of water. We are going to play at the level of prayer here tonight. Ooh, goody. All right. I want you to get good and comfortable for this one. And as you start to breathe in through the nose, down to the belly, and out through the nose, I want you to imagine that you're sitting in a circle around a campfire with everyone else who's listening here tonight, sitting around the circle as well. You can hear the crackle of the wood. See the embers come up as the wood tilts inward toward the hot coals. It's so warm. It's so inviting. You breathe in and out. In, just stare at those flames for a minute. Feel the warmth. Out. In and out. As you continue to watch the flames in front of you, you feel the love of the person to your right. You feel the love of the person to your left. You can feel everybody breathing in sync with you as well. They breathe in. They breathe out. In and out. In and out. As you continue to breathe in sync, really coming into harmony or coherence as one. Your breath has come together. Your heart rates have come together. And there's a powerful, palpable energy to being in sync with every single one around you. As you sit before this beautiful campfire, feeling the warmth of the fire, maybe seeing some fireflies in the distance, and feeling this is such a perfect evening. As you take it all in, you notice that instead of feeling dirt beneath the seat of your pants, you feel a carpet. Turns out you've been sitting on a carpet. And it's not just any carpet. Each one here has their own perfect, personal, magic carpet. Maybe it's Berber, Moroccan, Native American. It can be whatever kind of carpet you can imagine it to be. As you continue to breathe in and out, you notice that you're not just sitting on a magic carpet, but you're hovering on it a few inches above the earth. And you see that everyone else around you is hovering too. It's kind of cool, isn't it? As you continue to stare at the hot coals before you, I want you to imagine in your mind's eye one of the greatest, most magical, terrific dreams you can possibly imagine. You can see them in the coals. You can see them in the fire. Perhaps it's you at the beach, or with incredible abundance, communicating with a loved one on the other side. Your dream can be virtually anything you desire. And as you stare at the hot coals and the fire, you start thinking about this dream. You start feeling this dream. You can see it taking place. You can feel it taking place. You can hear what it would sound like if it takes place. You can almost reach out and touch it, smell it, and taste it. You go through your senses. How does it make me feel? Is it on fire? Is it elated? Is it joyous? Is it peaceful? Is it all of the above? And as you continue to get yourself in the feeling state, you notice you're no longer just inches above the ground, but you're flying higher and higher and higher still. And with each positive emotion you have, you head upwards, up, up, up above the clouds, seeming to fly almost to the very stars themselves. You so clearly can feel this dream of yours. You not only yearn for it like you yearn for oxygen, but it is so embodied in your soul. You've got this. You have this. It's here right now. What would it feel like to have your dream? What would it feel like to have your dream come true? As you find yourself flying, zipping above the clouds, you see something magnificent down below. You start to zip in for a closer look. What do you see? It's you. You come zipping in and see you. You living your dream. You're with that other person. You're with that incredible abundance. You having whatever it is you desire. You can see your future self having it, feeling it, doing it, being it. And you can feel it too. You feel like you have it. You feel like you're experiencing it. You're seeing it. You're hearing it. You're living it. You look at the person, seeing it, having it, feeling it, hearing it, being it, bringing it, doing it. And you see yourself feeling it, having it, breathing it, feeling it, doing it, being it. And you start to merge. You now merge. You go from on that flying carpet to being that person living your dreams, being that person experiencing your dreams, being that person embodying your dreams. How does it feel? Does it bring you great peace, sense of joy? Maybe it's tears of joy rolling down your cheeks. Maybe it's a sense of woohoo. You are living it now. It feels so good. It feels so amazing. It feels so incredible. This is your birthright, your dream. You've got this. Let's breathe it in. Feel it. Experience it. How's your heart doing? How does it make you feel? You've got now exactly what you desired, exactly what you hoped for, exactly what you've dreamed for. Is it a state of peace, of oneness, of bliss, of joy? Thank you. Say thank you for having this state. Say thank you for being in this beautiful state. Say thank you for having your magical dream even better than you ever could have imagined. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I want us to stay here for just, well, at least another minute now. You can stay as long as you'd like, and you can replay this as many times as you'd like. But I want you to experience a moment in the life of you having exactly what you desire. Do you have an ear-to-ear grin? Are you surrounded by love? What is this magical feeling state like to you? I'm going to go quiet for just a minute now. Then I'll bring us back. But I want you to live 1 minute in the life of the future you, living the life of your dreams, which is truly you now, here in this moment energetically. For this is living prayer. Very, very good. And now let's go back to that state of gratitude for just a minute. Thank you for my dreams coming true. Thank you for my health, my wealth, and for everything I desire, for my highest good and the highest good of all, or something better. Or something better means being open to something even greater from the universe. And now, I don't want you to hop back on your magic carpet and head back to the fire. But I want you to hang that magic carpet up on a wall or someplace sacred to you. And know that any time you desire, you can hop on that carpet. You can look into that fire. You can feel the love of everyone around you. And you can zip right back off to this perfect magical place. And each time you do so, morning, night, this is beautiful to do right before you sleep. Know that each time you do it, you are in a perfect prayer. And with the law of balance and the law of prayer, it must always come true. So hop on that carpet any and every time you'd like. So feel free to stay in this blissful state as long as you'd like, as many times as you'd like. And I want to send you so much love. I hope to see you Wednesday. I hope so much you'll get your 3 copies of Awe and share it with the world. Dive in and channel your guides. But above and beyond all else, I know I like to say shine bright. What does that mean? Let's get you living in that energetic state of having what you desire for your highest good, the highest good of all, or something better, so that you can change the world energetically. You can change your life energetically. You can raise yourself up to the highest octave you can and help the entire world sing in harmony at an even higher level. Because when you live your dreams, everyone benefits. That's why I say our mission: raise people's vibration, elevate consciousness, shift humanity by helping you to shine bright. And to shine bright, it's to get you in this energetic state that you're feeling here, and the energetic state we're going to be working on every week for the next month. Love you guys so much. Have the most beautiful, magical, manifestational week ahead. I didn't even know that's a word. And above and beyond all else, love and shine bright. Love you guys. Woohoo! Have a beautiful evening ahead, everyone. Keep on shining bright. And thank you, Jessica, for running everything. Thank you, Allison. Thank you, everyone. Be well, everyone. Have a beautiful evening. Love you guys. I've clicked end stream. It's not ending. Well, come join us Tuesday. We have an amazing show Tuesday night at 8:30 on Living the Life of Your Dreams, 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 Pacific. That will be on this channel. And then I'll be speaking again Thursday. But join the class. Let's see if it'll end this time. There we go. Love you guys. Be well.